promise you won't let me down.
Hello and welcome to Portman Road. This sound indicates an important announcement.
Hello again, friends. Just a quick video before we start today's show to say thank you so much for your monthly contributions to our Ko-Fi channel. I honestly can't thank you enough. It truly means a lot to see you all getting so behind this project, behind the platform, and using it the way I wanted it to be used, to have your say and air your ITFC thoughts in a really, well, calm environment, but also an environment where we can air each other's opinions and disagree, but disagree in a good way. Honestly, thank you so much for your monthly contributions. I'm currently trying to find out your names. The software isn't playing ball with me, so just have this as a thank you, and truly means a lot. Thank you, and see you in a sec.
Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to the Sunday edition of Talking Town, the number one Ipswich Town podcast. Why would you go anywhere else? Often imitated, but never. Well, you can finish the rest of the quote off. Anyway, another Sunday. It is, of course, a Sunday after 3 vital points. So I call it a good Sunday. Others may disagree, and that is the beauty of football. And I want to hear from you all throughout the course of the afternoon. Andrew, welcome in. Good afternoon. 2 Andrews, look out there, right at the same time. Paul, welcome in. Stephen, beep, beep. Glad you could make it, Stephen. Callie's in the room. Absolutely brilliant. Callie will join me tomorrow night on Talking Town Extra Time, but we'll mention that a bit later. Looking forward to hearing his thoughts. Hey, Town won. 3 points in the bag. Played quite well. Then we had Paul Lambert's press remarks after the game to get into, and everything else in between. Without further ado, we bring in the man, the myth, the legend. That is, of course, our media mogul, the man bringing you tomorrow's news today, Mr. Matt. Matthew, how you doing?
How you doing? You all right?
Love the shirt, my friend. Love the shirt.
Tracky top. Don't get sold into this myth that the cruncher is the only one who spends a £1 note in Planet Blue. I've been there. There you go.
Absolutely. Well, town stuff this week. Our own merchandise, hopefully, from next week moving on.
You've been busy.
I know. Masks. Look, we're getting into the 21st COVID century. We've got some masks, got jumpers, got hoodies, got the lot. Are you well?
Good, thanks. I'm good.
Any snow?
Well, it hasn't settled. I'm just looking at. I'm a bit concerned. I've got a new car this week. My old lease was over. The new one's arrived, looking absolutely pristine. Whole family banned from going in it. I want to retain that newness. But now it's got a little frosting on top, so it's worrying me a little bit. But there you go.
Chris Blake said he's watching us on the TV, and it's strange. Nice. That is where we belong.
Right,
we are TV celebrities. Adam Flatt, doubt we're playing any games for the foreseeable. Weather is garbage. But snow melts, my friend. Snow melts, and it's only a Sunday afternoon. Let's wait and see. Tom Pay's looking smart, Matt. Yes, he is. He's looking very suave. Great haircut. Have you been sharing the Luke Wolfenden barbers?
Yeah. Well, my missus. It was a nerve-wracking time for me, let me tell you, because the missus said she was going to cut her hair. We trialled it on my 5-year-old. It didn't look so bad, a little bit patchy. By the time she got to mine, it's looking like this. So I am fairly pleased with how my hair is looking right now. You might remember in our first shows, we all had massive lockdown haircuts, didn't we?
Well, I'm getting back there again because I don't let anyone come near my hair apart from Paul.
The cruncher went bald. Do you remember?
He did. He really, really did. Stuart says Snow settled where he is. Adam Wright, people should have given Lambert a chance with the new players in the squad. We played okay and look, we had goals. Well, we'll get into that very shortly. But before we do, it's Sunday, and I always want to hear from this beautiful woman on a Sunday, and then I'll bring the cruncher in.
It's a new year, which must mean new business opportunities. So why not join us online with other both professional men and women to kick off your 2021. Join us on Zoom during January. Contact us, networking90.co.uk.
Cruncher, how you doing?
Afternoon, all right?
Very well. Whoa, now you're coming through loud and clear. Let me just turn you down ever so early.
Matt's on about his merch. He probably fits in a boys probably about 15 to 16, so that's why it's so bloody cheap.
Not
boys
quite.
To man over there.
I've tried to. Had to breathe in. No, small adult, unfortunately.
Callie says, wait, Paul Lambert cuts Martin's hair. No, Paul the Barber's in Stowmarket, the best barbers in the land, without a doubt. That's who does my hair. Always has, always will. I hope he never retires, otherwise I'll just be looking like Moses come the end of the year because no one cuts my hair. So, I want to start, actually, today, before we get into the game and Paul Lambert and all of that, I want to start with our goats, if I may. What have we got any goats this week? Because I haven't played the jingle in a while, and I feel like I want to play the jingle. So let's it's that sort of air guitar bound sort of day. So have we got any goats before we get into the meat and bones?
Rich, do you want to kick off with your goat?
Well, I've only got a little moan.
That's not like you.
It's a small moan, and a lot of people might think I'm being petty. So we've been doing this since, was it
May?
April, May, early May. So started off with 20 people watching, like you said the other day, Matt. Now we get nearly 1,000, and I'm just a bit fed up of other people piggybacking on what Martin's done, because now you've got other people creating content. I'm not having it. Not for me. Sorry.
We were happy with those 20 people, weren't we, when we first got 20? Do you remember when we were broadcasting live and we actually just broadcasted to ourselves?
He forgot to press the record button, didn't he? Because I think one of the first shows.
I got a text from Neil saying, I thought you were going live tonight. And I looked at my phone during the recording and I was like,
I am going. Zoom, didn't we? We started on Zoom. That was when we done the first shows. But people piggybacking off Martin.
Oh, live and let live.
Not for me.
Live and let live, you know. People will find their own way.
It's nice to see people, what I will say, it's nice to see people getting inspired whilst Ipswich are in the third tier. Imagine what we'd be like if he was in the Premier League, right?
I know. I was thinking that myself in the shower this morning. I was trying to count how many podcasts we had, and I was like, maybe we've got more podcasts than Celtic.
More podcasts than squad players.
Well, that's a difficult thing to do.
There is only one podfather. Let's tell everybody out there. There's only one podfather. And it's Mr. Lambert up there. And that's not Paul.
Well, technically it's Graham Mack. And I've got a bone to pick with Graham. And I know he's only watching this. He delivered my 49 points title on Radio Suffolk. And I have had no end of text. One from me gran. Then other saying, did you really say 49 points? Cheers, Graham.
What did your nan say? What was she thinking? She thought you had too much of that white wine Thursday night.
She was worried I'd gone back to my wild party ways when I was a young teenager. She wanted to know who I was seeing and where I was going. 49 points. Are you feeling all right? But
talking of 1,000 views, the Phil Ham interview's done over 1,000 views on YouTube. Fantastic. See, that's more than Vera. Phil's gold dust.
But Phil is gold dust. So Matt, have you got a goat?
I have. It's weather related. Have you got my pictures ready?
Oh,
you see my pictures?
Yeah,
right. Let me tell you that my goat today is not really a goat because I do like it, but I just find it amusing. Is ITV Anglia. So that's for those people that you know, like Andrew down under. You know, this is our regional news that we get here in the ITV region. Okay, so this week, of course, you know, well, we've had some nice stories on there. They've had Britain's oldest cyclist or something, 99 years old, riding around the country lanes of Cockfield, which is near Bury St Edmunds, I believe. They've had a metal detectorist, found some old royal family artefacts from way back, Henry VII or something. But you do know, you can predict with ITV Anglia that when we get a bit of snow, it suddenly turns into this kind of apocalypse. It's like the day after tomorrow film. Global cooling is taking over the earth, according to ITV Anglia. So they will always do a live feed from a gritter station. So yeah, that first picture, please, Martin.
What this one?
That was the grit. There's Matthew Hudson of ITV Anglia. He's at Witchford Gritting Station in Ely. All doom and gloom. The snow is coming. Beast from the east too. That's near you, by the way, Rich. I think Witchford. I looked it up. It's about 30 miles from you. And then you always get the like little cutaway of the lorries. There's the fleet. They've all got quirky names. So
It's funny you should say that, Matt. It's funny you should say that because my missus works for the highways and they've got gritters. They had a competition where you could name your gritter. There was Gritter Thumb. There's all different ones.
They had Sir Isaac Newton, Captain Frosty. So then you got all those. Then you got that picture we just saw, the grit. And then they go, oh my God. And what kind of advice are the council telling everybody whilst they're going gritty? Stay indoors. I mean, like, what else are we going to do? You can't go to the pub. You can't go and get your hair cut officially. You can't take your kids to school. Stay indoors. So yeah, it's always day after tomorrow of ITV Anglia when we get a bit of snowfall. And like I said earlier, we haven't had too much in this. It's just
there we go. Well, I do agree. The snow. I mean, the weather in general in this country. You get a bit of rain, a bit of leaves. Leaves on the track really pisses me off.
Leaves on the track, yeah.
This train is delayed by 2.5 hours because of leaves on the track.
Yes.
Like, who's in charge of this franchise?
We've got up where I live, Matt. They come round here at night time. There's a little guy. He's got a quad bike, and he goes around with his little hopper on the back, salting all the pavements. You go out for a dog walk, and you hear him coming. You have to get out of the way.
He's like an official guy, is he? Council guy.
Yeah. Goes around the whole estate. Yeah. Parks up the top there, and off he goes. He'll be round tonight. He'll be round all week.
You doing that? I can imagine you looking a bit envious. You know, you got your tractor, you're thinking, oh, my little gun on the hopper.
Don't worry, we got one of them at work. We got loads of salt at work. Don't worry about that. We're ready. We're going to hit it. We'll hit it tomorrow. Wow. It's going to be Baltic all week.
If you want salt,
will you still be in shorts? Will you be in shorts?
Shorts all week, mate. Shorts all year round. People think I'm mental.
Why?
Why not?
There's a guy around my road always wears shorts all year round.
Don't worry, it's warm in my tractor. I have to turn the heating down. It's too hot.
Chris Peachy, we salt our own road. Yeah, that is the modern thing. Like the councils don't do it anymore. It's they stick a salt bin and go. That's it. That's our responsibility. Sort of done. To bring it back around to the football content, my go this week is people who write. I know it won't suit people's agendas, but who are these people with the agendas? Like, if you say I don't rate Alan Judge or I don't rate Cole Skews, you do it. Not because you've got an agenda.
Get Sid Driver's comment up there.
I can imagine Rich being like Stone Cold Steve Austin on the quad at work. He wishes.
Cut the cans.
But I don't know whose agenda that, you know, like it's just purpose trolling. But like no one slags off any player because they've got an agenda against that person. Like I don't have a go at Aaron Drinnan because I don't like Aaron Drinnan personally. I don't know the guy. I just don't think he's a crap footballer. That's period. He could score 3 goals a game for the rest of his life.
But then don't you want to see momentum to your agendas like Ollie Hawkins and that? You know, because you've quite enjoyed having a go at him, haven't you?
No. Rich is Hawkins, baby.
Worst striker ever.
That's what he said.
Well, I've got another one who's played yesterday. Ain't very good neither.
Perfect. Well, Robert Burnett. That gets me too, Gov. Simon Harris. Remember 3-0 as Leicester in the snow.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember the Allwear Bridge that night was woeful. Trying to get home. Right. On to yesterday's game, guys. We're going to open it up. The link is coming in the chat. If you've got something to say on yesterday's game, Paul Lambert's press conference, whatever it is, get yourself on the show. Be warned. We do have Talking Town extra time now. So we are going to limit fans coming on, Town fans, that is, not fans of Rich. They're welcome anytime. But fans of Rich Town coming on for half an hour. If you do not get on, you are guaranteed to get on tomorrow night's Talking Town extra time with Callie and Alex Griffin. The
Griffin's on.
The Griffin has landed. There's the link. Yeah, it got him on loan. Yeah, hopefully with all his 15,000 subscribers.
Yeah, come on over.
Yeah.
So reel them back. Right, yesterday's game. Where do you want to kick us off then? I thought we played really well. Comfortable.
Yeah.
Decent
we
performance.
We did. Yeah. The line starts. Parrott and Matheson looked decent, didn't they? I like Matheson. I thought he was the one I was most excited about, having seen him play for Rochdale, and he's got his move to Wolves for £1 million. And as Rich was sort of saying in the week, he speaks really well. He comes across as like an intelligent kid, and he's done the interviews with the club and the media, and he's like a breath of fresh air, which is kind of what we was looking for, maybe a new manager coming in. But we've got it with a new player, and I think that gave everyone a lift. And lo and behold, he played really well. Judge, was probably man of the match, wasn't he? But if Judge, because of the goal, I would say. But I think Matheson played really, really well. And it's nice to see someone excited and positive about playing for Town. You've had Emma Hughes for months doing his interviews, where he's just like a plank of wood. Then you've got this kid coming in and he's making jokes about his Norwich history and all that kind of thing. Brilliant. So it was really good to see. But I don't think it's the end of the rotation is coming. He ain't going to be playing all the time. But we'll maybe come into that. Let's see what Rich thought of the game yesterday.
I was agreeing with you there, Matt. They bought the energy, didn't they? Matheson, Parrott. Look, Matheson.
He was chirpy.
I've got so many Parrott puns. Yeah. I'm not going to throw them all in.
We did those Thursday.
But Matheson, if you said to me he's an 18-year-old, he didn't look like an 18-year-old on that pitch yesterday. The way that he played, hardly give the ball away. Really, the only mistake he made, he got a yellow card, didn't he? Yeah, dived in a little bit. He played very well. Parrott played well. Look, I thought it helps when you've got round pegs in round holes. Judge playing in his better position. You've got a proper right back. Dazelle playing further forward, which we have said on the pod. So I think Matt Gill, he's got it on his iPad, and he's talking Town because they know, don't they?
Without a doubt, he has. Of course they know, yeah.
I thought for the first 15, 20 minutes, it was pretty even. Blackpool did have a couple of good chances. They had a good chance, a header, didn't they? The guy nodded it wide. I think as soon as we scored at the ideal times, didn't we? Sort of bang on half time and then sort of at the start of the second half. But their keeper, that first goal, Matt, I could have thrown my cap on that.
Oh, it wasn't that
He went down in state. He has a nightmare, that Chris Maxwell, when he comes and plays at Town. Got sent off last time for Preston. And I know you two reckon he should have been sent off yesterday. Not for me. Yellow all day long.
I was looking at the laws of the game on this. Could have gone either way, I think. If you're a keeper and you're that far out of the box, you're quite a way out of the box. I think you've got to make the challenge. But I guess you could say that he was quite a way out of... Parrott was a long way from goal and at an angle, which probably saved Maxwell a little bit. But it could have gone either way. I think if you're that far outside your box, make the tackle.
He come out. He didn't really need to come out. It's sort of one of them ones like the head's gone, isn't it? The keeper thinks I'm coming, and then they just get caught in no man's land. And it was.
Which is how he got sent off for Preston, right? That's the game I'm thinking of.
Where he got 2 yellows that day, didn't he? He won for the penalty giveaway, and then he done.
I think he's outside the box.
That was over Martin's side, wasn't it? By the Cobbold stand?
Yeah.
And Andy Warren did tweet before the game, whenever he sees Maxwell, he always has a rush of blood to the head and rushes out and does something silly. So it's bound to happen. Yeah. But as I showed to you yesterday on WhatsApp, I'm going to do it courtesy of iFollow. How is that, if he stays on his feet, not a goal-scoring opportunity?
What's the other side of that? What's in the other side? There could be someone on the other side of that.
Yeah, there could have been. We can't see the big view, can we?
What, Usain Bolt? It'd have to be Usain Bolt.
He ain't scoring from there. He's not scoring from there, Martin. The ball's going away. The ball's stopped there. The ball's going towards the corner flag.
So in that case, your goalie's got one side-in challenge per game then on that basis.
That was a little bit like, do you remember, were you at the game in the Premier League, Matt, the first season we went up when Craig Forrest got sent off against Sheffield United? Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that one.
Littlejohn was the striker. He was running a little, probably about 10 yards further in the corner.
Into that box. Yeah,
and then, I remember that. Clive Baker come on. Clive Baker, and then he kept his shirt and he played really well.
Yeah,
you don't remember that, do you? You're too young up the top there.
I do remember that.
Don't remember watching Clive Baker. I remember hearing about Clive Baker.
I feel like Parrott would have got round the keeper there and then with the outside of his right foot taking it into the box. But we'll never know. It's like, we never know that.
The thing is was it dangerous? Potentially. I mean, he's flying at a fair speed. Is it cynical? Absolutely. Does he gain the advantage from it? Absolutely. Like, how many boxes you got to tick?
Did you see, going off a little bit on one, the West Ham Souček, the red card?
No.
I've not seen this yet. I've heard about it.
Nonsense. If you see it...
Is it on VAR? This was on VAR, wasn't it?
It's Mike Reed. That's Mike Reed. Mike Dean.
Mike Reed.
Great comedian, though.
Pat Butcher.
Straight across.
Believes his own hype too much. Anyway, right, we have been live on Twitter, but we're now leaving Twitter and we're heading to Twitch. So Twitter, head to the link in the chat to keep it.
What's your Twitch name? Have you got
home dressing room? Yep, just
okay.
head there. If you've been watching us on Twitter, thank you very much. Right, Robert Burnett, well, still live on YouTube and Facebook.
There's no snow down there, is there?
Yeah, any snow down your way?
It's just some rain.
What did you make of yesterday's clinical performance?
I wouldn't go as far as clinical.
Really? 54% possession, 13 shots, 3 on target. How much more clinical at home do you want to be? In the third tier?
In my opinion, one win doesn't change anything, but it's a start. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a start.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Every journey starts somewhere.
But for me, it just shows how bad Chambers really is. Like I'm sorry, I've loved him for ages, but I think it's time. Just yesterday, kind of proved that.
See, I get that, because Matheson had so much more energy, and there was that little moment, wasn't there, when he went down to where the Churchman stand was and got to the byline and stuck that cross in, which was an absolute beauty. But this is not the end of the Chambers show. We're going to see the rotation now. Lambert's now got the exclusive rotation, hasn't he?
I think he might play Tuesday, man.
All the way through.
I think he might play Tuesday.
Yeah.
Especially on that pitch there, because that is like a ploughed field, and you're going to need proper men. You are. I'm not saying drop Matheson, but I wouldn't be surprised if Chambers comes back on Tuesday.
But sorry. I put my hand up. Lambert got his tactics 100% right, really.
He did. He really did. It was a good game. Yeah, and I think Ben said on this match day ticket, we won yesterday because of Lambert. He was brave. He dropped Chambers. It is the beginning of the end, whether he comes back in.
Did he drop him or did he rest him?
Either way, it's a drop, isn't it? If he's fit enough to, if he's fit, it's dropping.
It's a sitting out, isn't it?
Yeah.
The rotation's going to be in full effect now. The Tuesday, Saturday is going to give him the excuse. And we said that back in the summer. You will see that if the squad's big enough. Yeah. We're going to see it now with all the games.
Thomas had a tighter game, I think. I think he improved on last Saturday.
Don't get really started on Thomas. He thinks Lancaster should be in there. He should have scored, actually. He had a good chance.
Not good enough. Not good enough from what I've seen in 3.5 games.
That red card you guys were talking about before, I didn't see that footage. No, I saw the extended highlights because I referee for Football West. The actual photo that you showed, it does look like he's going away from goal, so therefore it cannot be Dogzo. It's actually Spark, which is stopping a promising attack. It's not actually, if he's going towards goal, it's Dogzo. If he's going away, it's Spark.
Yeah.
As a referee,
not for me.
Yeah,
not for me.
The referee agreed with you because he gave him a yellow. But mate, it could have been. It could have been.
What about the referee, Matt, when his hamstring went?
Everyone loves a referee injury. Now, if you boys are referees, Richard, Andrew, have you ever got injured during games?
No.
Are you once?
I don't have to, Matt. On a Monday night, I referee the Man v Fat. I don't even hardly have to move the set from the centre circle.
I did three junior games. I did it halfway through the second game.
What did you do?
Calf.
Oh,
see, I think Mr. Busby, he lost his hammy there, didn't he?
back on Chambers. Why is the fan base so hooked on him? Like, what's the appeal? Quite frankly, like, why are we all? Some people were upset yesterday he wasn't playing, and I can't get. Like Amy Down said, why is he being dropped? And I was like, well, he's not been good enough.
Look, it's the loyalty factor, isn't it? We're like the Mafioso. Yeah. Loyalty's the number one thing. He's been here almost 9 years, and he lives and breathes Ipswich. And we've said it before. He's got the kids staying at his house, in the annex of his house, to make them feel welcome. Hey, is Matheson staying there? I got the impression he was, but I don't know. But it's those kind of things, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's more of a failure on the club's part. They should be looking after their own kids well enough. Like, give me another club in the country that does that.
No, not off the top of my head.
Because they look after this.
If Matheson is staying at his house, it's going to be a bit of a frosty breakfast, isn't it? Sorry, I took your place there.
Yeah.
Robert, before I bring Lee in, who was your standout loan performance yesterday?
Matheson.
Absolutely, yeah. I think that'd be a consensus today. Robert, have a great evening.
Thanks, guys.
And
Monday, there it is.
enjoy your week. Look after yourself.
10 o'clock.
There you go. Look after yourself. Yes, mate. Lee, Mr. Lee Ando, welcome in, my friend.
Hi guys, how are we?
Finally, somebody with a bit more optimism than me on the show, right?
Really?
Let's have it. Well, you're far more optimistic than I am, and I've said 49 points.
Lee posted yesterday. I don't want greens. I don't want the green sprouts. I want the green shoots. I want magic beans.
Yeah, magic bean time,
beans.
isn't it? We're at that point, aren't we? Halfway, and we need, talking on the points. I posted something like 38, one either way of that, and then somebody come on and said, well, actually, that might only give you a 40% chance of making the playoffs. So
Chris Rank's got all the percentages. Hey, it's good.
Yeah. I think that's probably where we are. It's still there's lots of games to go for us, but other teams have got the points in the bag. I mean, where would you want to be at this stage of the season?
Yeah.
But
we're 12 points off the top, Lee. 12 points off the top.
Yeah, we've got games in hand.
And 9 off second.
And how many games in hand?
Don't you?
But you can't do that. You can't say we're 12 points off, make it a bad thing, and then not say how many games in hand you've got. Like you've got
to win them. That's not. You've said before, mate. That's not a guaranteed 3 points. We look at games in it. 3 points there. 3 points there. Not guaranteed, is it?
I was thinking about this last night, right? The people that have said 34, 35 points, you lot are miserable buggers. You've only got about 10 more wins left in the season.
I was less than that.
Realistic. We're realistic because we've shown nothing in the first 23 games and nothing last season and 3/4 of the season before that under Lambert to say that we're ever going to get that amount of points, Martin. You're living in a dream world. Fantasy land over there in Stowmarket.
It's okay, right. Answer me this, right? Answer me this. These are your fixtures. Peterborough, Shrewsbury, Northampton, Oxford, Hull, Doncaster, Stanley, Gillingham, Lincoln, Plymouth, Fleetwood, Portsmouth, Wigan, and then Rovers, Rochdale, Dons, Wimbledon, Charlton, Northampton, Wimbledon and Swindon. You're telling me you can't get more than 10 more wins out of that lot?
Well, look at the first 23, we only won 11.
Yeah.
but we've had bad injuries, haven't we? Our injuries have been, we're being crippled. There's no question about that. And
same with everyone, Lee. In this COVID time, everybody's getting injuries. We can't be using that. We used it last season. We're using it this season. It's all about momentum. It's all about momentum. If we can go to Peterborough Tuesday and win, that gives us. I think everybody then is going to be a lot more optimistic because last night I was watching your show, Martin. Great show. Ben was absolutely on fire. Johnny Duncan. F-bombs all over the shop. Tux was great, but a lot of them, everyone was getting carried away. We've won one game against a really poor Blackpool side, and I know what Lee will say. They scored 7 goals in the last 2 games, which is, that is fair point, but we are the flat track bullies of this division. Until we beat a top 6 team, it's 30 games and 4 wins. And the stats, they tell their own story. Until we can start beating them teams, we won't go anywhere.
But yesterday seemed differently, didn't it? Yesterday seemed a different team to the one we've seen over the course of this season. It looked a team full of ideas, full of confidence, full of just the love of playing the game of football because of the perhaps inexperience of some. But it looked or it felt to me anyway, a different team.
Well, I think, as Richard said earlier, you've got round pegs in round holes. You've got people playing in the right place, haven't you? And I've always said it, and I'll say it again with Parrott, we've got a striker that is up the top. Now, whether he does it every game or not, and how well a striker plays, but they know what he can do. So defenders are going to be scared of what he can do rather than what he does actually do all the time. So there was a couple of times, I think the goal, the pass through for Sears, they backed off him, and that we haven't had that this season. We haven't had that. Jackson is not good on the ball.
He's intelligent, Lee. I thought for an 18-year-old, he's really intelligent.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get bullied off the ball, but there was a couple of times he lost it. But, he didn't. He's got a turnabout, and that brought people like Judge and Sears. I mean, Sears doing back flicks and all sorts going on. That just seemed to, when you've got someone around you playing like that, and that you want to play football as well. If you're going to play it into a striker and you're going to get it back, you're going to make the runs, aren't you? If you're going to play it into someone and they're going to lose it, you either don't pass it to them and go backwards, or you don't make the runs. So I think, really, for me, Parrott was more of an influence than the other Matheson. I mean, Matheson started the game quite. He built his way into the game. He had a couple of long sort of clearances and that, but he grew into the game as it went on, as it started to open up a bit. But he gave the energy. But I really think Parrott was the one that gave us that foothold higher up the pitch.
Yeah.
And now if we keep Norwood fit as well, and with them too, if they both stay fit, then we've got a good chance of picking up not 49 points, but maybe late 30s, early 40s. But we need those two strikers. And as for Thomas, I know what you say about Thomas, Crunch, and I think he's a slightly different player to Lancaster. I think they're slightly different in that
Lancaster's
Thomas,
good.
Pardon?
In that Lancaster's good.
Yeah. Well, out of all the players that out of all our youngsters this year, I think Lancaster's the one that's had an end product. He scored some goals, hasn't he? He's assisted. So he's done a bit. So out of the youngsters that have sort of been left behind a bit now, I think he's the one that probably could feel the most aggrieved. But I think with Thomas, you see glimpses of it. I mean, he's not been consistent yet. But again, he wants to go forward a little bit more than Lancaster. I think Lancaster's a bit clever on the ball, a bit more, intelligent, maybe more of a number 10. And for me, when I look at Jack, I just wonder if we're still trying to find his true position, and whether or not his true position is in the 4-3-3, I don't know. But that's why I think where he's coming from with Thomas, that Thomas has got that little bit more getting him behind. And we had that in abundance yesterday, didn't we? And as for you, Crunch, saying that you would have saved that shot from...
you went down in stages. You went down in stages.
If you look at it, I've watched it a few times after that in the highlights, and he didn't know whether to come or go, did he, the goalkeeper? He started to come.
I think he took it early, didn't he, Judge? I think
Judge,
he might have surprised him a little bit.
Yeah, because he hit it early, the goalkeeper couldn't get set. And he wasn't really on his... I don't think he was on his mark, and it just beat him. And it was a great strike. It was a great strike. And, because he hit it early.
It was a good ball from Kenlock. It was a great goal by Judge, but a great ball by Myers.
I tell you what, we would have conceded had
McGuinness
had the ball not been attempted. That we would have conceded. We've conceded many goals like that this season. Kenlock wasn't in the picture, was he? There was two. We were overloaded on the right hand side. They would have scored from that. We've conceded too many. We were lucky. Say lucky. I don't like using the word lucky, but the interception was there, and we went up the pitch, and we went up the pitch quickly, which is something we haven't done for the last few games. So, the green shoots are there. And if we beat,
I agree with Lee there. I agree with you there, Lee. I think we played a lot quicker yesterday, and we got the ball forward quicker, didn't we? And we got more people, like you said about Parrott, we got people around him more. He wasn't isolated like when Drinnan's played, Hawkins. They've been isolated, and we're about 20 yards behind him, whereas I thought yesterday the whole team, we played further up the pitch.
Yeah, Sears got tighter to him, didn't he, and was running off him, and you could see that in the Sears goal that was clearly onside. I mean, he must have been half a yard onside.
Yeah,
but I wonder if Judge coming back confused the lino, because Judge was coming back at the same time, wasn't he? But for Sears, who was meant to be playing on the left side, to be in the central striker's role, shows there's a bit more rotation there. But again, that rotation only comes because you've got someone like Parrott, who's playing that forward position, and the same with Norwood as well. I think they're very similar types.
Absolutely. Okay, Lee, appreciate you.
Cheers,
look
guys.
after yourself. Thanks so much. Really good, insightful points there. Tom Page says goalkeepers seem to be anticipating the square pass by Judge to Parrott. Leighton Durrant, the whole team looked happier yesterday, played with a lot of freedom, closed down well, a good performance. Tuesday will be a completely different game on
There's an interesting comment there in the comments, Martin. You've said it about the fullbacks from Facebook users. And it is.
Yes,
we're playing a system with two ageing fullbacks, and it's all early season. The sun's out, the pitches are good.
Let's not forget these two lads who played yesterday, Matheson and Parrott, are used to training with world-class players.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Parrott's training with Harry Kane regularly, I would imagine, in the first team, and he's been picked twice by when Mick McCarthy was Ireland manager.
Yeah.
So, you know, he might be 18, 19. I think he's 19 now. And he had his birthday in the week. You know, he's around, you know, he's got the mindset. He's around world-class players all the time.
I just would have liked a goal from him, just to cap off a really good debut. You know, like Clark Harris at Peterborough, who we'll see Tuesday night, can do all of the things Parrott did yesterday while scoring. And I'm just still worried that if we haven't got a central player who's firing the way Clark Harris does, we are going to struggle for goals, because Judge got one yesterday, but that's a rarity. But yesterday was good, and I don't know if Thomas and Chambers can play well together, because when you've got an inside forward as a winger like Thomas, who wants to cut in on that left peg, you need an overlapping winger to take the fullback with him. Chambers ain't going to do that.
Like you said about Matheson early on, Matt, with that cross. He got in that space that Thomas provided, didn't he? And he was there, and it was a good ball in. So
this is what. Go on, man.
I was to say that's not what Chambers provides, though, is it? You know, he doesn't provide that legs up the pitch in the way Matheson will. Go on, Matt.
What I was going to say was, what we're now seeing with those two youngsters that have come in is, you know, what we've been missing over the last 3-4 years, because we've been outside of that Premier League bubble and at the top end of the Championship. You know, suddenly they've come from that world, and we're now sitting in mid-table of the third tier, and we're blown away by them. How, you know, but they used to be part and parcel of what Ipswich used to be, right? Yeah. But now they're shining beakons because of how far we've fallen. But you know, we're not used to it.
Matheson wouldn't have been signed, would he? And Matheson wouldn't even been signed if KVY hadn't been pulled up injured. So,
but that's what we've got to remember, though, isn't it? Really, that Matheson impressed at this level to get a move to Wolves. So it's not like he shouldn't come into this level and play really well, because he's done it before and he knows the level. Yeah. Right, links in the chat. Hawks, welcome in. Tom Page asked Jordan, "Is Miles Kenlock now our first choice left back?"
For me, yeah, 100%. Stephen Moore's got his bus pass already, mate. As far as I'm concerned.
He's done well since he come in.
Have you seen that bloke move? He ain't got hips, have he? Christ almighty.
He's not Shakira, is he?
He was all right at first, but hell, he's well and truly gone now, isn't he?
The Achilles injury hurt him, didn't it? He's not been the same since.
I hope we're not paying him too much.
Agree with that.
He was brought in we said he was brought in for leadership, and we've heard that since, haven't we, that he's a vocal character on the pitch. Because we said in the summer, no, there's no leaders in that team other than Amos.
Yeah, I spoke to Scott Loach this morning about the town result.
Hold on. Let me just pick that up for you. Little name drop there.
Name drop it, all right. I said to him, he asked how we played and stuff like that, and I said, yeah,
what's he asking you for?
Chamber was dropped, and he just said, that makes me sad. He said, it makes me so sad, because it's another player who's a proper leader, a proper bloke, and a proper footballer who's coming to the end of his career. He said, but time moves on. He said, so. Yeah.
This is it. It's a football club. It's a business. It's not a charity.
Yeah, it is sad, and I'd like him to stay in and around the club, but it is time to move on. I think Luke Matheson was very good yesterday. I read a tweet that Crunch put out midweek about Kane Vincent-Young. He must feel so down now.
Yeah, look, he was getting pelters on Friday for a lot of our fans. He won't play again. Get rid of him. And I think you have to take a person. You know, football is look, it's his life. He plays football every single day. When you can't do something that you love, it must be really hard mentally. And I think that's a real big challenge for him to mentally get over this injury, because look, we were all big fans here of Kane Vincent-Young, and we'd love to see him back on the pitch. But I think this season you've just got to write it off and hope that when next season starts, he can get fit, because we're probably going to have a new manager. I think we all probably agree on that.
Two ways with him, innit? He'll either go back to sell him on a freebie, which is the likelihood at this point, or he'll now get over this injury and excel and go for what, 8-9 million quid to the Championship, something like that.
I hope it's the latter.
Yeah. Don't we all? I thought the boy Troy Parrott was very good yesterday. His movement, I think he created a lot of space for Sears. I think Sears enjoyed playing with him.
I think Judge did too.
Yeah, I agree. I thought Thomas was poor, disappointingly, because I quite like him. The poorest man on the pitch was the Blackpool goalkeeper. I mean, Blackpool fans think he's unbelievable, but bloody hell, my granddad could have got down quicker than him.
There you go. What's the scene?
He's about five yards out of position as well, isn't he? I mean, the rush of blood second half. Why has he even come out for that? I just don't get him at all. He
No,
is
weird, isn't
absolutely useless, and he's their captain as well. Tells you a lot, really, doesn't it?
Shows how poor this league is, Jordan, when we're playing up against people like that.
Blackpool had a lot of people, myself included, would think Blackpool to have a good season, but they look like mid-table fodder, really, don't they? But here's a little scenario for you, Jordan. Picture yesterday with a new manager.
Oh,
So we've had this new tempo come forward. New players are in.
That's a wet dream for me, Matt. I wouldn't go there.
Yeah, if a new manager would come in that week and we played like that, how optimistic would everyone be thinking? I still felt a little bit flat after yesterday.
I felt all right after yesterday. The most impressive thing for me was we were 1-0 up just before half time. The crunch said perfect time to score. Second half, I thought, right, we're going to come out, we're going to be flat. Blackpool are going to be right up for it. But as soon as second half started, we pressed. Every single man. We looked up for it. And whether these new signings are going to be good or not, they've clearly given players a lift, haven't they? It's quite clear that's happened.
And fans.
The best thing for me yesterday was seeing Flynn Downs as captain. For me, anyway. I love Flynn Downs. Favourite player.
We debated that, didn't we? Yeah.
By a country mile. Top lad, whether he moves on or not. Absolute top lad and a top footballer. So, for me, him being named as skipper, whether it's Lambert has named him or not, it's probably not. But quality. The lad's quality, isn't he?
That's the weirdest jibe at Paul Lambert I've heard, Jordan. What do you mean, probably not? Of course he named him skipper.
I don't know. I just don't. I can't see Paul Lambert coming out and being like, "Yeah, Flynn Downs skipper." I just don't. For me,
the hatred for Paul Lambert. He could literally shit a gold bar and Town fans complain it wasn't two.
He is a bit of a knob, though, isn't he? Let's be honest.
We'll come on to that.
We will.
Yeah.
I would never
still
have thought.
maintain though. Quickly, I still maintain. I said it Thursday. I still think some of these loans, right, Jordan? I don't know if you agree with me here. There's still a carrot to get the new gaffer in, because we've said before when we had the long injury list.
Let it go.
Who would want to take that job?
You've got to let it go.
Let me finish. When you've got an injury list of 12 players, no one wants to take that gig because that's going to reflect badly on you, isn't it? All right, I'm not going to be able to improve what they're on. I feel like those loans are also a carrot for the new gaffer, and you will see a new gaffer between Danny and the season. I guarantee it.
I like to think instead of him backing him, it's more of a remove an excuse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it as well. Yeah,
you don't deliver the post. You don't deliver the post to a town, do you, Jordan? Because that mailbag tomorrow for Paul Lambert is going to be overflowing. All them letters he's going to get.
I have been writing letters all morning. I will be honest. Yes, I have. To dearest Paul. Jordan, Tuesday, big game. Before I let you go, bring in beep beep. What do you think is going to happen?
beep beep.
Beep beep.
Be called off.
Postponed, yeah.
Do you know what? That'd be typical, wouldn't it?
2-1 Town. Troy Parrott with both. Let's do it.
Oh, now they tell you what, if he plays like he did Tuesday and gets 2 goals, I may well be in love. I may well have my new Bartosz Białkowski man crush. Troy, you are outstanding. You just need to add goals for me. Jordan, as always, I really appreciate it. And lovely to see you on the show again. We've missed you, man. Look after yourself.
Top lads. Nice.
Oh, let me tell you.
Sorry, mate. The trigger finger got a bit itchy. Sorry, mate. Look after yourself.
Let me give you a quick weather report here from Essex. The snow is settling fast now. My black car is now covered in white.
What you got? What's your new car, Matt?
It's the same as I had last time because I loved it so much. Kia Sportage. Good car, man. Good. Feels good. Because I'm not the tallest either, so now I'm above people.
Do you have to have a booster seat?
Not needed. The seat comes up.
Bloody hell.
Heated seats?
Heated, of course, yes.
Oh, press that button.
Of course.
Yeah, nice.
Of course. Yeah, right. It's time for beep beep.
Here he is. Was it going off yesterday? I couldn't hear it yesterday.
Yeah, it was going off yesterday.
I shut the door. I can't even hear it. Sorry, you can. I don't.
My missus could hear it on the show last week and thought it was ours going on.
I'm going to switch around.
Steve Barry.
I've rang my brother. He said he'll have a look at it when lockdown's over with. So,
how are you, Steve?
I'm all right. I've had a think about it overnight. And I'll go back to what Crutcher says. I think everyone was a bit jubilant. I think it was more relief than, excitement. To be perfectly frank, we did play better. you know, and that has to be said. I'm still not a Paul Lambert in, and it's going to take a hell of a long while before, cause not just for performances on the field, it's also with his attitude. It stinks.
He does.
You know, and he showed in the media yesterday, you know, asking simple questions. You know, I wasn't really interested in the questions, but if that's the question the journalist wants to put, then it's his right to say that. And then it's
equally Paul Lambert's right to say, I don't want to answer that, and I can't get past this blubbing, quite frankly, from the town fans. And I know why you're blubbing, because you don't want to live with the fact that Paul Lambert might turn this around.
Hang on, what's he going to turn around? We won one game.
Yeah, and we won quite comfortably. So you were all clutching. Okay, let's break it down, right?
You're clutching.
I listened to it back again to make sure I hadn't missed anything. The question was, did Luke Chambers, he's talking about here, did he handle it well being dropped? Now, as Mick Mills said straight afterwards, a club legend, that's a really difficult question for a manager to answer. All he said was, and this is the reply, I don't want to talk about that. I've told Dan, I'm here to talk about the game. I don't want to talk about that.
Let me tell you, Ryan, from my experience, when a manager starts quoting the press officer, who's generally just behind the interview outside, that is a man under pressure.
He don't feel the pressure, Matt. He said he doesn't feel the pressure.
Of course he does. Of course he
does.
does.
He's got to be one of the most thin-skinned Glasgow bravado managers ever, I think.
With him saying that, it opens more questions than it answers. He could have done what he's done all season when he said we've played great when we quite patently haven't. He could have lied. Yes. You know, he could have said, no, I just wanted to rest him and everything's fine. And got moved on. He didn't. Yeah. He left something floating in the ether. You know, is he angry? Is he not? He didn't look too impressed when it showed them pictures in the stands. He looked pretty cheesed up, if you ask me. But everyone's got to move on. He's 35. He can't keep doing this. No. He's not been our greatest player. He's been a good servant, and I would never knock him. But he's not been our greatest player this season. You know, what worries me is on Tuesday, Paul Lambert's going to whip in all these players, these new players. We're going to play absolutely awful, and everybody will forget yesterday. That's what worries me more than anything else. You know,
as good as your last game.
Yeah, do what Mick Mills did. Give him a day off, have a light training session on Monday, and go again Tuesday with the same team. They can handle that. If an 18-year-old can't handle that, there's something wrong.
Exactly what I said last night. Yeah, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. But on the Lambert comments to the press, what do you two think? It's overblown as always with Paul Lambert, but I've read some serious things on Twitter like disrespect. No, disrespect is telling your own fans to fuck off at Carrow Road. That's disrespectful. He answered the question. He stayed at the press conference. He didn't say, right, that's it, I'm off, bye-bye, no more comments. Where was the disrespect? He just said, I didn't...
He's giving just non-answers. That is disrespectful for me. I'm going to give you I know you're here to get content. I'm going to give you as little as possible. That is disrespectful, in my opinion.
It's not worth listening to him, Matt.
It's not worth listening to him.
The club content now, I don't even look at it because all them questions, you got, look, Jacob, Dan Palfrey, they're all great guys, but they're running. He runs the show. You've said it before down there. He is running the show, and he is.
As he should do. He's the manager.
Hey,
he's the manager. He should run the show. It's his gap to run.
Why don't you answer simple questions then? Answer the simple questions.
Well, what simple questions do you want? Well, you work with a guy called Lee, who's on the show. Who's going to come on the show tomorrow night, right? If he got demoted and you walked into your boss's office and said, "Why is Lee being demoted?" Would you expect to get an answer from your boss, or would you be told to? He
don't work with me. He's on a different department.
Well, that's not. You can't. I wouldn't say that's a good comparison because it's always about Lambert. Okay, this is the only opportunity a lot of town fans will get to hear him talk about the game. And he's deliberately...
But it wasn't about the game. But it wasn't about the game. It was about how one person reacted to being dropped.
It was an aspect of the game. And it was a big aspect of the game. You know, that change could have made the difference between us winning or losing.
And it was only, the fourth time Chambers has not been in the starting level or been on the bench in 9 years?
The fans want to know why he's... Yeah. It's a simple question, isn't it?
It is, but it's equally his right to decline the answer. And the way people were going on last night on Twitter, I thought he had said something that I had completely missed and was over the top. So this morning I'm listening to it. No. People are fed up with Lambert, and instead of complaining about the game, because they couldn't, or the way we played because they couldn't. They were trying to find reason to complain. And as Statman said this morning, Paul Lambert could deliver this club back to being a big club that he's played for, and he still wouldn't have a drink with him. No.
What are you living in if you think he's going to do that? He might be gone by the end of the month.
Absolutely. But last night you should have all been having a beer, being happy. We played really well, and potentially we've turned a corner. Instead, you get your knickers in a twist over what he did or didn't say, despite saying for weeks he's boring.
You're all jubilant. You got your bit. Oh, great! Here comes Lambert. Let's see what he's like. So Brenner said, "You must have been really pleased with Matheson and Parrott. Great performances. Yeah, really excellent performances. Excellent lads. Nice lads. Next question. Rubbish. It was just like the Chris. What's the point with the interview?
He's paid to win games.
He hasn't won games, has he? That's where your argument falls down. We're 10th in League One.
Exactly.
He ain't won nothing.
Exactly, and that's fine.
A year ago, we were 11th.
At the end of the day, he's got to try and get people back on side. Yeah? And that was a complete own goal. We'd gone from a win.
It was. Yeah, Steve's right.
And all people are thinking about is, well, he's an arrogant man. He's an arrogant SOB, and he'll just answer questions he wants to answer. That's not what the media's there. They're not your PR team. They're there to ask you questions you don't want to answer. That's the whole point of a media.
And Brennan doesn't ask particularly hard questions. I don't think he's asking the questions the fans want to maybe get an answer for. They're quite easy. They're quite easy answers for Lambert to give one. But because he's got the arse ache about the back page of East Anglia, he's now treating all the media the same and giving them as little as possible.
It was like Jose. Did you see Jose in the week, Matt? Did you see Mourinho when they asked him about Gareth Bale and he said, why didn't you bring Gareth Bale on? And he said, that's a good question, but I'm not going to answer it. But he can get away with it. Mourinho can get away with it. Paul Lambert can't. Come on.
Don't get away with it.
Didn't Lambert say that as well during the week, saying when you write rubbish about him in the papers and things like that? We know where he is.
Where was he? Where was he on Friday? Because I heard that he was doing an interview for BBC Scotland. He was talking about Celtic, and then he wheels out Matt Gill.
He's only done, I think, has he done a pre-match conference since the back page? I don't know. Taylor did one because he was ill. You got Matt Gill doing it. They're doing this on purpose.
You see, this is where I'm sitting with it, right? Wardy Tractor Boy said he did answer the question. He said, well, the games we have, we need fresh people in the squad. I think it's a non-question. Then you've got Facebook, you're saying exactly the point. Good game, good result, good performance, and you're moaning because you simply want to. And that's where I was last night because
the manager's a knob. The manager's a knob, Martin. He is.
He may well be a knob, but he's paid to win games. And last night he won a game of football.
And he isn't winning games like Matt has said. He ain't winning games. We're 10th in the league. I don't get where your love comes from.
I don't love him. But he's the manager of my football club. I can't change that.
After Swindon, you were on your show and you called him a fraud.
Flip it out.
Absolutely. I'll stand by that. When you
listen, we've made heavy weather out of this, Lambert, on that question, because if I was doing if I was Dan Palfrey, I'd have said to him, right, maybe let's just say Chambers has got the ump, okay? We don't know if he did, but say he has. You'd then brief Lambert and say to him, listen, we know Chambers had the ump, but lots of games to go. We're doing Tuesday, Saturday till April. Chamber will be back in the side at some point. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say.
He had a simple.
That's all you had to say. He gave her a non-answer and brought everyone down. I think he did it on purpose.
When he came into the club, look, he'd done his PR bit. He got everyone back on side, and now it's like he doesn't give a toss. That's all gone. That's all forgotten. All of that is gone.
But Crunch, of course it's gone. A, he knows his job's on the line because he's not an idiot. B, you've had the paper saying, remove this manager. You don't come back from that.
If he came out and showed a bit of humility, it would have gone down a lot. It would. We've just had a good win. Come out and just show a bit more humility. Like my crunch and tackle will be showing soon.
No. If he come out and did that, you lot would be saying, he's not taking it seriously. Fuck's sake, we're 10th in the table and here he is singing a song. Like, this guy can't do nothing right. And I'm a bit...
no, because we're 10th in the league, so Shane can't do nothing right.
And that's spot on. And that's spot on. If we lose Tuesday... Yeah, but you can't... Like you can't... This is where I'm at with it. And this is why I'm a bit like, when you're a Lambert out, that's fine. I've been McCarthy out. I've been Hurst out. I've been every manager since the dawn of time out. But when you go to this extent, you kind of let yourselves down because you start to show, actually, it's not really what he's doing with the squad. It's just him in general. He could literally do anything and you're going to complain. Win a game of football, you'll find something else. Lose a game of football, that's fine, but it's not good enough. Literally.
As what's his name, Andy7 on Twitter said to us yesterday, put 4 or 5 wins together now then.
Absolutely.
Then we'll start giving you some credit, not just a one-off against Blackpool and then a one-off against whoever else in might bloody be.
At the end of the day,
go for me.
I was fully supportive of Lambert after the result. I turned around and said that result was because of what Lambert did. Yeah, I will hold my hands up when I have to. If he wins 5 in a row, 6 in a row, I will get the spoon out and start eating humble pie. But the top and bottom of it, he's got to change his attitude as well. It would have been no problem to come in to that press conference yesterday and say, look, I made some mistakes, yeah, and I changed things, yeah, and we got the result. He would have got a lot more support. He would have got a lot more people behind him because he's admitted what was wrong. And what was wrong was his choices. And that was it. But he won't admit it's his fault. It's always somebody else's fault. It's always something else. And it has to be.
I do agree with that. And I do agree with Tom Page. He brings it on himself. And I'm disappointed he said it. I'm disappointed it went to that. Because personally, I do generally think, why are you doing it to yourself? Like, you've won the game of football. Just shut them up. Just give them what they want, because then they can't say nout.
And when his replacement does come in, is it a Paul Cook? Is it the Cowley brothers? Is it a Nigel Pearson? Whoever it might be, you will suddenly go, oh, what a breath of fresh air. It'll feel like sunshine on Portman Road. I can absolutely guarantee it.
Absolutely. It always does with a new manager, whoever
exactly
it is.
What I was going to say. Yeah,
whoever it's going to be.
Say.
And look, as far as I'm concerned, Lambert will get no credit from me unless he gets us out of this division. Yeah, he won't get anything. I'm sorry.
He ain't going to do that.
Someone's asked me in the chat, do I think we'll get top 2? Most probably not. But Paul Lambert is still the manager of this football club, and I can either live in the world of negativity and be really depressed about that, or I can say, do you know what, I can't affect that. So what I can do is hope he gets it right. And yesterday was the start of 49 points in my optimistic view, because that's all I've got to cling on to. Because otherwise, I'm sitting here thinking, right, 10 more wins, that's all we've got out of 22 games, and eventually he'll get sacked. I'm kind of waiting around for the doom and the gloom and the negative. I don't want to waste my time. I want to support my club and hope we win. So
we all want to win. We all want to win.
I don't think some fans do anymore. I think some fans generally hope and pray by 5:05. It's another defeat, so it's another nail in the coffin. I know Matt Fitz look at his face. Look at his face.
I did celebrate the goals yesterday for the first time since about November, I think. Yeah.
I sent a tweet this morning and I said, look, at the end of the day, this is a building block. We can build from this. This is not, it's not the building completely finished. He's got a long way to go, but he can get there. But if we have slip-ups, if we start losing again, then I'm sorry, he's going to have to go. But I'm going to give him that latitude, but I still think his attitude needs to perk up.
Never going to change. If you look at all the other clubs he's been at, Stephen, all the fans, they've all said the same thing. And when we posted on Twitter the Birmingham Mail, Birmingham Post, whatever it was, the back page, which said he had to go, it was exactly the same gripes as we've got now. Ludicrous excuses, boring football, funny attitude, all of that, all of it.
Absolutely. Right, Stephen, we love you. We appreciate you. You are a star. Beep, beep. No beeps in there. Well done. I like it. I love it. I love it. Look after yourself, my man. Right, we've got the Peterborough preview to get on to very quickly. And then we've got our crunching tackles and medium moguls. Where do you want to go now? Do you want to go with your piece there, Rich?
Go for the crunch and tackle, because it comes off the back of back of Lambert.
Absolutely, yeah. Right. What do you want? Do you want it?
Yeah. Well, look, I think a lot of people have probably seen this. So here we go. Here he is.
This is courtesy of Otis Sport on Twitter.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Oh,
we got no sound.
Have you not got any sound?
No.
Hang on. Let me fix that for you, my friends. Let me fix that. Fill in the audience.
That's Sean Dyche.
What to expect?
Look, I think we all know Sean Dyche is the type of guy, Matt, who I think you like to go for a pint down the pub.
Yeah,
he is. He's a decent guy. Says it as it is, and he's quite funny. And that was his press conference before the Man City game, and he got talking about I could come here and it's like boring, we're in lockdown, and he talks like that, doesn't he, Sean Dyche?
Well, yeah, it's a great Burnley club.
I've got a story about Sean Dyche. Yeah, after this, yeah.
Have you got it?
I'm getting it.
So, so he said it was boring in lockdown. He could come in and he could give you standard answers like Lambert does. And then he'd give you this. It's 5 minutes long. If you've got to watch the whole interview because it's really funny.
Ethan, can you say that?
Have you got it?
Apparently I look very much like Chris Evans too. I mean, I can't see it, personally speaking, I can't see it, but apparently I do, so it's a fair point that you make. Thank you very much for reminding everyone of that clear fact that I obviously do look like Mick Hucknall. Thank you.
Thank you.
What a man. What a specimen.
No idea. They're brilliant because they're less boring. It's like lockdown's really hard for everyone. It's really boring for everyone. So we're just having a natter and just trying to show a bit of humanity in the world. You know what I mean? We are human. Boring question, they'd bat them off. You ask me a silly question, I give a silly answer. We might as well just not bore everyone to death. So thank you.
We've sunk to looky likeys now.
This is a good bit. The looky likey game.
And for some reason.
Have you ever done that though?
Looky likeys.
Looky likeys make the world go.
Yeah.
Have you never sat in a pub? Well, although that seems like a distant memory. Well, your mates and just found looky likeys in the pub.
Can you imagine sat in a pub? You can, can't you?
Trust me, just do it.
Pint of bitter.
Sit with some friends. You'll probably only allow 3, but anyway, sit with some friends and you look for looky likeys. Brilliant fun. Love looky likeys. So we're not lowering ourselves, guys. We're raising the bar. Adding. Yeah, we looky like on holidays.
The thing is, it's a manager safe, isn't it?
This is a good bit.
Get your kids into it. Once they're of an age, fantastic fun. Because then people nudge each other and they do that thing where they go, "Oh, Dad, I've got one. Look, over there, left." And they go, "Bungle." Well, how do you even know bungle? You know what I mean?
No, they become that for the whole holiday, don't they?
Yeah. So as soon as you see them and you, yeah. So then every night you're at a restaurant, you nudge him and go, "Look, Bungle's in again."
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I could listen to this all day. I could listen to him all day. I find him really, really interesting. I know, like what you said, Martin. He's at a good club, and he can get away with it a little bit more, can't he? Because the expectation at Burnley probably every season.
500 miles.
Funny,
I'll take that as a compliment, by the way.
Anyway,
I mean, Dyche is.
The fisherman's on the naughty step anyway. Did you
he's off it now. No, he's off it now.
Is he off now?
When Dyche was between jobs, before he got the Burnley job, so this is going back to about 2012, he'd done all right at Watford, didn't he? I think they had been favourites to go down. He kept to mid-table, and that's when they started this that rotation of managers they started bringing in under this new ownership. So I decided to get him in for the FA Cup draw. It was an evening one, so it was kind of a late one, like 7, 8 o'clock at Wembley. And the car park, so I got Sean in, he agreed to do it. I think he was living in Northampton at the time, he drove down. So I said to him beforehand, the car park at Wembley, the huge one, is going to be shut. There's a little multi-storey at the side. Park up in there and I'll meet you in there. So we get there. It's like Sunday night. It's like 7, 8 o'clock, dead of winter, really dark. I drive into this multi-storey. I've never been in it myself. Completely deserted, right? So I'm in there and I'm sitting there thinking, right, I'll make the move over to Wembley in a minute. And then a car came in and it parked up and the lights were still on. It was kind of, it's like blaring at you. And then my phone goes, and I was thinking it was going to be the missus to make sure I'd got to Wembley all right, I hadn't got stuck on the roads or anything. So I picked it up and went, "Hello," and then the voice went, "Matt, Sean, where are you?" I was like, "Oh my God." I mean, that voice just sort of bellowed down here. But I tried to tap him up as we were walking over. I said, "Look, the Ipswich job's going. Paul Jewell's leaving. Do you fancy it?" But I think he'd already signed with Burnley at that point.
See him, Matt, when you're on about Watford. I see him when he was Watford, the manager of the youth team, and they played Town in the FA Youth Cup. And he had, do you remember Marvin Sordell?
Oh, what a striker.
He played up front for Watford that day, and Tom Eastman was playing at the back for Town. And Marvin Sordell absolutely tore him a new one. Scored a hat-trick, and they got through. He look, decent manager. With him, he's probably at the minute he's at Burnley. It's like, where would you see Sean Dyche in 5 years' time? Because is that his level where he is at? Where would he go next?
Tough, isn't it? Because he's done a Moisey, really, hasn't he, at Everton? And then he got the big gig at Man United, and it didn't quite work out for him. But I don't know. He was at Forest as a youngster, wasn't he? He was at Forest as a youngster, Dyche, and he was, as a youth team player, he got his leg broken in a youth game. And Cloughie was on the sidelines. Apparently, he told me this at this thing. He was going, "Young man, get up!" And Dyche's going, I've broken my leg. I thought I've broken my leg. Get up and run it off.
I've always admired
I don't know where he
Sean
goes from
Dyche.
there. I don't know where he goes from there, but it'd be nice to see him to get a bigger job with a bigger club.
Deserves it, for sure.
They've got the new owners, haven't they, there now, the American.
They've put him 90 million in debt now.
But then, doesn't it annoy you, Matt, when you see Burnley in the Premier League and we're a bigger club than Burnley? We are a bigger club than Burnley.
Yeah, my mate's a big Burnley fan from the area now. I say to him, get back to Division 4. That's where you belong. They've overtaken us all these clubs. Your Bournemouths, your Brightons, your Leeds, your Burnleys. They've overtaken us.
Brentford at the top of the Championship.
They've overtaken us, you know what I mean?
The way they run, though, is light years, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, exactly. It's coincided with the Marcus Evans reign. Yeah. Media Mogul? Got a jingle?
Beautiful.
Well, we've spoken about ITV Anglia this week. I'm going to go to the One Show. Thing on the One Show caught my eye this week.
What?
Nicely done. They did a little feature about Declan Thompson, which is a story I had actually missed. There he is, Declan, 18 years old. Made his debut last month for Sheffield Wednesday. Came on as a sub in the FA Cup against Exeter. And you're thinking, not too much was special about that. Well, the fact is, when he was a youngster, he couldn't walk. He had something called Perthes disease, which is a hip, something that affects your hips and your hip joints. And he spent 18 months as a child in a wheelchair, but still had that love of football. And they said he'll probably never play sport. He'll never kick a football. And because he loved the game so much, he had his Zimmer frame, right? He's trying to learn to walk again, and he's kicking a ball against the wall. And his dad was a semi-professional footballer, Lee Thompson. He's now the assistant manager at Stocksbridge Park Steels, which is the club that Jamie Vardy was discovered at. And he kind of, worked with him. And then somehow he got back on his feet, young Declan, got into the academy, and now professional footballer with Sheffield Wednesday. So I just thought that was a fantastic story. What a story to get over that. He defied the doctors. He was told never to kick a ball, and he was doing it with his Zimmer frame. And, if you've got a little dream out there and you think it's not possible, it looks, keep believing in it, because everything is possible. And young Declan is living proof of that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great story. Well done, Matt, finding that.
Good one.
Right. My story is we've all played sport in this chat and in the active chat, haven't we? We've all played sports and things. Well, this one's courtesy of the Metro, and it's the WWE. We're all wrestling fans here. And Mark Henry revealed that another superstar once pooed in Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's food box. He was Yeah, I know. He was on Busted Open Radio, and this is what he said. I was so stressed a lot of times when I went to the locker room because I didn't know what was going to happen. Me and The Rock always had a locker next to each other. I came in, saw people laughing and giggling, and ran away from where our lockers were. Dwayne would pack chicken breasts and broccoli and stuff to get in the car because he's a body guy. I saw his box was open, so I grabbed it and looked in it, and there was a piece of poo in it. Somebody had shat in his food box, so of course I disposed of it. Have we ever been, in a locker room for a sports and that sort of things happen? Because that's obviously hazing or initiating a rookie in. And this was off the back of the Undertaker's comments about the new locker room is soft and the guy who's wrestling today is softer than the legends. Have we ever seen pranks pulled in the locker room?
I haven't. Rich, have you?
Not really. I know Deep Pete. You used to have Deep Pete, didn't you? And people
yes.
Cut the toe, like the foot out of someone's socks, but not really. I wouldn't be doing that. Talking of that, did you see about the commentator who got sacked, Matt, in Scotland?
Yes. Hamilton, Academicals. He lost his head, didn't he? I'm sorry I'm late. I've been to the toilet.
What did he say? I've had a... What was the word?
It was the Scottish for crap.
Yeah.
Yeah, a wee jobby. I've been sat on the toilet for a wee jobby.
He's out.
Why would you even... What Brenner did that, man? You think he lost his mind? Ridiculous. What was wrong with him?
I've never seen anybody poo in somebody's lunchbox. I mean, obviously American football, you get a lot of rookie initiations, and rookies got to do certain things. And
I suppose back in the day when like youth players were coming through, it was like who's the story that happened?
Kieran Dyer mentioned it in his book.
That was it. Kieran Dyer someone shat in a slip. That was it. When he was a youth player, when they had to go in the because they had like different. They weren't allowed in the dressing room, were they? And that was, I think that was when That'd be like middle 90s. I've got an idea who it was. I'm not going to say who it was. He's a bit of a joker. But I suppose back then, like youth players now, they're more mollycoddled, aren't they? The young players.
True.
Yeah.
It was like you said about Troy Parrott, Matt, when you sent that story from the Sun. And he was on holiday with Gareth Bale out in Dubai. And you've got remember Reece Wabara, Martin, we had on loan?
Yeah.
Man City. I remember once when he came in, I'm not sure where he just disappeared out the game, didn't he? I think he went down the legs. I went round after one game with the kids for some photos, and I see him coming out to his car, and he had it was an Audi 4x4 massive thing with chrome wheels, and I'm thinking, this is a lad. He's 18. He's at Man City, and he'd done nothing in the game, absolutely nothing. Yet he's driving around in a massive car, earning a massive wage, and you think, Didn't
he exit the game after us? Like, weren't we like one of his last proper clubs?
Did he play for us? I don't even remember him hardly playing.
No, he played in that game. He gave away gold, didn't he, against Gillingham or somebody? Was he on loan from Man City or something?
Lee Anderson once smubbed the opposition hockey goalkeeper helmet with deep heat. Mike Brown. I removed the front studs off one boot and the tear studs off the other was so funny. I think that means a rear stud, so you got a bit of an uneven.
It's funny. It's funny you're talking about youth players there. It's something I was going to, if we had time to talk about today. About 10 years ago, I took the Daily Mail and the Guardian over to Belgium, where England under-19s are playing. They wanted to do a story of who might be playing in the 2020 Euros for England, right? So that's coming up, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And the World Cup that follows, which is obviously going to be in Qatar. And we played Cyprus. We beat them 4-0. It was so they used to host the tournaments would always be in a host country. So you play 3 group games for qualification to the Youth Development Euros. So we was in Belgium. So I went over there for a couple of days. So in goal was Jed Steer. He was at Villa still. He was Norwich, and I think he's only played twice in the Premier League. Right back was Bruno Pilatos, who was at Middlesbrough. He's disappeared out of the game. Andre Wisdom was one of the centre halves. I think he's at Derby. He was at Liverpool. Angus MacDonald was the other one. He's now at Rotherham. Aziz Dean Conte, he was at Chelsea. He's out of the game now. Last played at Dover. He was in that side. John Bostock, mentioned before. He's had a bit of a career, hasn't he? But not as big as everyone was saying he was going to be. Then he kept the other midfielder, John Joe Shelby, now now captain of Newcastle. George Thorne, I think he was around West Brom. I think he's been maybe Derby somewhere. I think he might be floating around the Championship still.
Luke Williams, I think now.
Is there he is? Luke Williams.
He had a bad injury, didn't he?
Luke Williams, who was at Sunderland, he's now at Hartlepool in the non-league. The striker is Benik Afobe. He's had a pretty decent career. I think he's playing out in Turkey. And the main striker, who was keeping someone on the bench, was Michael Ngoo. I think was at Liverpool at that point. I think he's played abroad and stuff. But the bench was Josh McEachran, Ross Barkley, Connor Wickham, Harry Kane. Didn't even get on the pitch. So it just goes to show, and a couple of other lads, Jacob Mellis, Sam Johnston, I think West Brom keeper. But it just goes to show that nearly all that first team that were keeping some of them lads that have made it into the game just disappeared out of the game. You can easily drift out of the game. And that's why I think, we've been talking about IPSWICH youngsters, they can still quite easily drift out of the game if they don't get opportunities or plateau, get into a comfort zone.
Totally agree. Wasn't Harry Kane a late developer as well? Like he was very.
He had a lot of loans, didn't he? He had a lot of loans. And he didn't really
not
up any
really
trees
successful.
Like Norwich, Orient. I mean, he got linked to us for a while, and I was thinking, I don't know about that. But
right.
There you are.
Peterborough, very quickly, because we'll cover it tomorrow night with Alex and Callie. What do you think's going to happen, guys? 3 points, win, draw? What do you think? Tell me what's going to happen.
Well, judging by my road, potentially. A really tough game, isn't it? A really tough game. I think we can come away with a point now. I'd be quite happy, but I think the conditions are going to play a big part, and who the team might be. It might be a completely different team to what we saw yesterday. I don't know.
I listened to Darren Ferguson's post-match this morning. It's quite funny now. Peterborough's pitch is bad, Matt, and everyone on Twitter's turning into a groundsman. The game's off. It's going to be off. They've got a tent. They've got a tent over the pitch. Yeah. That blows hot air in, so that'll obviously be up. I live about 20 minutes. I live about 20 minutes away from Peterborough, and now today we've had no snow. It's fine. Tough game. The pitch. What's the saying? It's a great leveler. It'll be a slog, won't it?
Absolutely.
No messing around with the ball at the back. I think you've just got to play the percentages, get the ball forward, And I think it'll be a battle. I really think it'll be a battle, but I don't
Which
think
may well be why Chambers plays, because he is a great percentage ball player. He will lump it long for a percentage ball without a shadow of a doubt. Harvey Bell, 2-1 Town. Lee Anderson, draw. Parry's gone for depends on the selection. How are those splinters there, Steve? Nick, no, Ipswich 5, Posh 1. Love it, Nick. Paul, draw. Mike Brown, 2-0 Posh. Bloody hell, Mike. James Reed, 3-0 loss. Oh, geez. Mike, you've been out negative. Look. Stephen Parry, it's been truly loads of snow. They got it on Wolves. Matt, what do you think?
Smodic and Clark Harris scored, didn't they, yesterday for Peterborough? But they didn't really fire, did they, when they were at Portman Road? We kept Smodic quite quiet, and obviously Clark Harris missed that pen. I feel like we'll probably lose, actually. If we can get a draw, great. I'll take a point now. Got me McCarthy, haven't I? Take a 1-1 or something, or 0-0. I feel like they might just edge us out. Maybe a 2-1 now. 2-1 Posh.
Okay. Well, let's find out what Carly and Alex got to say for themselves tomorrow, 8 p.m, right on the channel, Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. We'll be there live.
You didn't go for my prediction.
Oh, what was yours? Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say the two centre halves worry me. It's all right playing against Blackpool and they had no one up front.
Yeah.
But Phil and Lille against Clark, Harris, Smodics, and Dembele, it worries me. The pitch, we can all moan about the pitch. Back in the 81 season, look at the pitches we played. We played in Cologne. Do you remember that, Matt? We went 1-4-1 out there. So I'm not having it like Lee Anderson in the chat there. No good for Norwood's hamstring. If you can't stay fit, get out the club. You know, you're here
exactly. Yeah.
Get in the bin.
Get on with it. Get in the bin. 2-0 Peterborough.
Okay, Elliot, your boy's gone 1-1 or 2-1 Peterborough. Apple don't fall far from the tree there, does it? Wardy. Posh won't all that when they came to our place. Play it Saturday and we can sneak a win. Dawn, the legend that is Dawn. Still 2-1 as I said yesterday. I'll give you mine tomorrow. But we're done for today. With much love from us all. Don't forget you can buy our merchandise. You've got the lemons on Twitter already starting up.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I know.
Wait, something better to do.
Is that going to be a t-shirt?
It certainly will be. I'm in the design process as we speak. But with love, with care, look after yourselves, and we'll see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. for Talking Town's Extra Time. Where is the button? There it is.
Hello and welcome to Portman Road. This sound indicates an important announcement.